welcome to the Wealthy Lala Show with myself, Laurie Laursen. This is episode 185. How much fun is that? What magic will you create? Yeah, some days I know what I'm going to talk about, and some days I just don't. So this is one of the ones that we're just, I've got one or two things and we're going to wing it. We're going to see what comes out, what wants to be talked about. One of the things that I wanted to share with is, or just even ask you guys is, do you allow the universe, God, source, divine, contribute to you? Or do you try and do it all by yourself? And when I say try and do it all by yourself, I don't mean it in a way that sounds like it could be a judgment, because a lot of us don't even know that we can ask for help. We don't even know until we do. If you're someone who's maybe been raised in church and you have the awareness of, having God in your life and that you can ask for things with that, that you may have a bit of a head start. Someone like myself, I wasn't raised with it, totally fine with it. I have found the information that I've wanted as I've gone along anyways. So it's not like I was raised without. And I love that I've now discovered that you can actually ask. You can ask for assistance. And, I've heard from some different sources. I guess I'm not entirely sure if this is true or not, but I like that idea. The idea of it is, I tell you, I think I get so excited talking that it's like I talk over my tongue and my teeth. So I am so excited to know now that I can ask and that I don't have to do everything all by myself. So in Tasha Silver's book, Outrageous Openness, I've referred to it a couple times over the last week or two in a couple of different podcasts. And so this is what she talks about. So when she was in her 20s, one of her first teachers was a fabulous intuitive in the Berkeley Hills. And so she lives in San Francisco. His name is Michael. He gave so many pragmatic tools for how to navigate the inner and outer planes. He saved her years of travail. Whenever I went to him confused about what action to take in, he usually said, "Hold the question in your heart. Ask with complete focus and conviction for the universe's guidance. Then let go and see what breadcrumbs come to you for you to follow. If you don't get an answer, just keep asking for a while until you do." Sounds really hard, hey? I know. The interesting thing with this is you have to be willing to receive the breadcrumbs too. And a lot of us have been taught, not to receive, that it's better to gift than receive. It's selfish if you do, among, I'm sure, many other hundreds of points of view. And anyway, so she goes on further to say, until I found him, I was often paralyzed with indecision on countless topics. With my Libra rising, always seeing both sides of a story, I used to force decisions from fear, but I soon saw that Michael's simple technique worked like a charm. The variable is the timing. Some breadcrumb trails take weeks to appear while lining things up, but others are instant. So I was driving last week with a friend and she discussed her cat dilemma. She hated that her new kitten from the pound was all alone all day, but feared the two cats would be double the trouble. For 10 miles, her mind spun like a hamster wheel, endlessly weighing the merits of one kitty versus two. Finally, I had had enough. Look, I laughed. Why not just ask to be shown what to do? Let's call in divine order together right now and see. Yeah, whatever, her friend said, rolling her eyes as if just suggesting texting Santa Claus at the North Pole. At the next light, a woman crossed the street. Oh my God, girl, check it out, my friend yelled, pointing. Two tiny kittens were nestled in the woman's arms, resting against each other as she headed to the vet on the corner. Wow, that was pretty damn quick, I laughed. Now don't insult the universe and ignore your answer. So I'd love to invite you. Can you think of something in your life right now that you would like to ask for? And do you know what's helpful sometimes when you do this, especially when you're new and starting out with it and you're kind of building the muscle of trying something different, is if you have a little notebook and write down your asks. Like write down the things that you ask for. Okay. So think of what you'd like to ask for. I'm just trying to think here. What do I want to ask for? Okay. Oh, all right. I know for me, I'm going to ask for even more patience with pausing instead of reacting. Yeah. Okay. Especially on those things that I talked about the other day about fighting for, needing to fight so much for something because I want it to change so badly. I want it yesterday. I'm going to ask for patience for the pause instead of reacting. Okay. Do you guys have your thing? All right. So just close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes, but you can. Hold the question in your heart. Ask with complete focus and conviction for the universe's guidance. Then let go and see what breadcrumbs come for you to follow. If you don't get an answer, just keep asking for a while until you do. Now, the other thing that's really great about if you write these things down is that you have something to reference then to either know to ask again. You have something to reference with regards to acknowledging that you started to get breadcrumbs or that you got breadcrumbs or that you received what you asked for. Okay. And you will know. And, you know, depending on how good you are at trusting yourself, like you will just know. You will just know that you know. And yeah, you'll just know that you know and allow yourself to know that. So these are little things. Now what's interesting about this is like when I sort of express these things, it's generally because it's things that I struggled with myself. So I certainly don't come from a place of, well, I'm just going to tell you fools how to do this, okay, now? Because I know it's good for you, so you're going to do it. No, this is called, Laurie's had plenty of experience not doing it. So then she's had experience playing with it and seeing how it shows up. And I don't know. I'm going to just ask the universe right now that if there's actually a story that I have that would contribute to this, to ask it to pop into my mind, because otherwise, just in this 10 seconds, I can't think of one. And yeah, so allow yourself to ask. So just again, hold the question in your heart, ask with complete focus and conviction for the universe's guidance, then let go and see what breadcrumbs come for you to follow. If you don't get an answer, just keep asking for a while until you do. And keep in mind that, it's like a train that's going one way. It's got to slow down before it can turn around and start going a different way. Some things need a little time for the universe to create incidences that coincide for you. Okay. It's got to get people, places, and things lined up for you to, to assist you because you've asked. All right. So, yeah. And sometimes I like to ask too, if there's anything in the way of me receiving this, universe, could you make it really loud and could I have ease with it? Because you could ask for something to be really loud and it may not have ease with it, okay? So ask for ease with it and see where, that takes you. And you may have a few little things that pop up that you might have to look at and deal with and take care of and clean up and work on, so it allows you to receive what you're asking for. And, this is kind of like it's a good example. Is like, say you're asking for $1,000,000, but you have a knowing or an awareness that all of your family is going to then be on your doorstep asking for it, and you don't want to do that. You're not actually going to receive the $1,000,000 because the universe knows that that wouldn't be kind for you. So if you need to get yourself in a place of being able to receive the $1,000,000, and then whatever that takes, either, getting to the place where you invest it right away before you say anything, um, and then you tell people that it's not available, or just whatever you would need to do to get yourself into a place that you can allow yourself to receive, and choose what you would like to do with it and be okay. Do you realize the judgment that would come with something like that? And so everybody might say, wow, it'd be so great to win $1,000,000. I wish I would have won $1,000,000. It'd be awesome to win $1,000,000. But did you actually stop and think what would be created if you actually won that $1,000,000? And could you deal with that? And if that's what you like to really have, well, then ask the universe to show you, how would you deal with that? Because, man, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Win $1,000,000 and receive it and be in the space to go, I know what I'm going to do with this, or not. So, and then what I loved is how at the end of this little chapter, she says, wow, that was pretty damn quick. Now don't insult the universe and ignore your answer. So you can choose to ignore it. You can allow yourself just to receive the awareness and not act on it, and allow that to just, first of all, grow your muscle of trusting that, holy mackerel, like, look how fast the universe contributed to me, because nothing is ever wrong. And what if that's, not choosing something in that 10 seconds or that particular time that shows up for you, and you get the awareness, you're like, oh my God, that's what I was asking for. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. And, maybe someone was going to offer you a free trip and you're like, God, I was just thinking of going to, Jamaica. And now someone has asked me if I want to go on a free trip to Jamaica. And it's like, no, I can't. And then you look at it afterwards and you go, wow, the universe delivered and I couldn't receive it. So what would it take for me to be able to receive that next time? So universe, okay, I'm going to work on that. You send me another trip, okay? So, and just let yourself be really playful with it. That's really one of the things you really, really want to invite into your world, is having fun with this. We've put a lot of significance on things being right or wrong, having the right career, not having the wrong career, having the right this, having the wrong that, going on a trip and having it be the wrong trip, or, we have so many judgments about things that it gets where you're like, I don't even want to ask for anything, because if I don't ask for anything, then I'm not disappointed. Well, what if life is an adventure and the asking is a part of that adventure, and the asking is what just creates other possibilities for you to be able to see even more and more what you would like to have, what you would like to ask for. Like, what if you go on a trip and the plane ride is terrible because you're sitting next to someone and you're very uncomfortable at the back of the plane, say, And then and you think, well, that wasn't worth it going on that trip. No, what if it's just the plane ride wasn't that great? But what could you ask for next time? You know, what would it take to be first class? What would it take to be in priority seating? What would it take to have an aisle seat? Like, what is it that you require to then ask for? But it wasn't wrong to go on a trip and have a bad seating arrangement. It just gave you information as to what to ask for. And, some things are going to have a little more things that you're not necessarily going to quote unquote like, and other things are going to have a lot more. And the biggest thing is not in making it wrong, just not making it wrong. Yeah. So I'm going to just read it again. Hold the question in your heart. Ask with complete focus and conviction for the universe's guidance. Then let go and see what breadcrumbs come for you to follow. If you don't get an answer, just keep asking for a while until you do. All right. And that's from Tasha Silver's book, Outrageous Openness. Yeah. All right. Thanks again for listening. Have fun asking. Okay. That's exciting. How does it get any better? You guys take care. And thanks again for listening. Contact me at thewealthylala@gmail.com.